by multitudes, my lovely play-by-play caster today. And yeah, we got an exciting matchup tonight. We got Encrypted GC going up against Nightshade. So, I mean, a super exciting one to end off the main series before we get into playoffs.
100%. 100%. We have one more week. We have a few more rounds of games, but this is the
wrong
no.
there.
You're exactly there. You're exactly there. Zero fight, and it's gonna be a few more games before we end off these group stages. We'll be looking at Group C right now between Nightshade and Encrypted, and I think it's kind of an important game for both of them. This could be the make and break moment where they could start to peel away from their peers, or they could get into the rut and really have to fight for their lives. And I want to point out, especially Encrypted, they're unfortunately at the bottom of Group C right now, together with Excel Aurora, both at 0-3. But if they can get this dub, I think they'll give themselves a bit of a leg up.
Yeah, they might have a chance if they can get this victory. And like you said, I mean, they have next week as well, so maybe it could be able to do something. And then Nightshade currently 2-1, but we do have these rosters to look at for tonight's lineup. I don't think really anything super crazy here. All players just standard across the board, and a few standouts as well. I mean, on the side of Nightshade, I know Abby 2K is definitely a player to watch. Go for Encrypted, so both sides with some star players for sure to keep your eye on.
100%, right? And you know, if you've been following the Tenax series, you know some of these players are absolutely gonna frag out. I remember casting for Abby, I think a few months ago, and it was absolutely stellar. So you know, more to come today, and you know, as usual, you know, it'll be a little Valorant cinema to bring to the table.
Yeah, I definitely am excited, and we actually have a head-to-head to go into as well to get a bit more of a deeper look on these Omen players.
Mm-hmm.
Linsanity versus Abix, and I mean, pretty even stats across the board. Linsanity definitely hasn't played as many rounds necessarily, but I mean, Abix, you can see why Nightshade is currently at or sat at 2-1. I mean, just a dominant player all across the board.
I tell you, even with like the Omen kind of nerfs that have happened, it's still a very popular pick. And I
Yeah.
look at Apex, 63 assists. Yes, 50% more rounds, but definitely more than 50% assists compared to Linsanity. And it's just the value that Omens can come out, you know, with the paranoias and obviously the dark covers it's a hot pick in VCT, and you see it a hot pick across the board here in 10X series as well.
Yeah, you definitely do, and you kind of see why. But coming into this series, I'll definitely be looking to see if Linsanity can step it up because I believe we should be seeing them pick the Omen as we can look at our map select. It should be Lotus that we're going to be seeing first up from the pick of Nightshade. Then we'll be going over to Splits, and then finishing it out on Pearl if we get there for that decider. And I mean, Lotus is definitely the home grounds of Nightshade. Very, very confident on it, very comfortable. And with a record of, I mean, 2 victories on it so far, you definitely can see why.
Yeah, it's a very. I feel like with Ascent out of the map pool, a lot of people have turned to Lotus to be their comfort pick, and so getting very familiar and comfortable with the extremity pushes, I think that's something that, you know, like you mentioned, Nightshade has brought to the table. Encrypted will have to really work their way into it, and figure out if they can, you know, cook up a new comp to be able to help them succeed in this space.
Yeah, and I think if Encrypted, excuse me, do want to take this series, I do think it's going to be in a 2-1 fashion. I, to be honest, don't really think they're going to be able to get it over the line on Lotus, but I do think Split, and I think especially Pearl, if we can get there, might be a really good shot for Encrypted to actually take it over the line. But going into Agent Select here, we'll have to see if any of these teams really deviate from where they've been going to. I know Encrypted's kind of been jumping a little all over the place, trying to find a spot they're comfortable in as far as the composition.
Okay. Yeah, Linsanity opting to maybe go onto the Gecko, giving the role of the controllers to Katrina instead. The Clove, a bit more of an unusual pick. Nope, maybe opting, still trying to figure out. Meanwhile, Nightshade has really locked in a bit of, I would say, a usual composition, you know? Like
Yeah,
the
it's nothing.
Breach Gecko combo.
It's not anything too out of the ordinary. I know a lot of teams in the Tenax series like this Breach Gecko. It gives you a lot of options as well. I mean, Abby 2K, we were saying, they kind of do this thing with Nyx and Abby where they swap back and forth. Abby on that Neon, sometimes on the Jet, and then Nyx will play this Raze. But we actually see the Astra being locked in from Katrina, which I really like. I know we were talking about the Omen nerfs, and while I think Lotus probably is one of Omen's best maps, I think the Astra gives you a lot of options. But surprisingly, no Teho multitudes. I mean, we've kind of seen him come to the forefront of the meta here, but nothing being picked here when you would, I mean, in a double initiator comp, I mean, I feel like he would excel a lot, but not opting for it today.
Yeah, you know, I could 100% see Linsanity running perhaps a Teho that couples so well with like the Fade Seas, with the raised nades. It does, I think, a lot to be able to try to disrupt and disrupt, move around people basically on the opposition side. And so it's a bit of a shame that we couldn't get that today, but I think either way, you know, these teams will both have to cook pretty hard to make this work right now.
Yeah, and it will be Nightshade starting on that defense side. And it looks like they're already getting set up for an early trap play here. Over towards this B area. with both these double initiator comps, we'll see a lot of aggression on this defense, and we'll have to see how Encrypted can kind of react to it. They do have the fade, so a lot more info on that attack side to help re-clear some of these spaces. And while Nightshade's going for this B main play, Encrypted wants nothing to do with it, just holding out any A aggression, seeing if they can hear anything, but nothing gained off that initial contact, but swapping over, trying to get mountain control, so proactive.
You see, actually, Nightshade taking a lot of space. They actually poked B as well to be able to just suss everything out. But now I think the ball's been dropped. They know everyone's moving towards A right now.
Yeah, Prowler comes out. Only one player on the side.
You see Joya getting the first drop, but gets traded out by Satella as well. They're trying to not let anything settle, and 3 players just drop bodies onto the side of Encrypted. The spikes left in the lurch as well. Last 2 players held up in tree as well as A main. You see the scramble from Niyamara trying to cage up and deny information, but as well Insanity being caught off by that Molly. Unfortunately, once the cage drops, Shrey gets their drop, but Insanity fires back across the high-low, the jumps. Oh, they're really trying to play around with these classics here. And look
at
just
discipline.
Pure...
Enemy
No, oh my gosh, there was a world.
That was
There was a world.
Close. I mean, that right-click burst was insane. I thought it might even get 2. I mean, one of those stray bullets with how low that last player was, but Nightshade able to close it out, and that's a great pistol round to get on the defense side of Lotus. I mean, shutting down Encrypted's ability to kind of start getting the ball rolling, get those ultimates and the economy high and early. But now, nothing really. I mean, a judge being brought in from Nyx, but no outlaw or anything like that. And for Encrypted, just playing it safe, not really wanting to invest and get punished into this one.
100% right. And so you'll see the lone Cypher, Abby 2K, hold up in CT, you know, the solo hold here, seeing all this information flooding, waiting, very disciplined from the side of Nightshade, as you can tell from that last round as well, as Encrypted storm the sites,
Great spam.
trying to take all this space as well. The move through the smoke as well. Oh, it was close. I like the ideas, but dude, they will get punished for it. And it's a flawless round from Nightshade, you know, with their superior firepower, able to sweep it up easily.
Yeah, and a great setup from Nightshade as well. Abby just having that trip foresight, playing back in CT, just playing retake, was able to spam one through the smoke, and then their teammates were already there to help them out. Flood retake in, and I think that's going to be how Nightshade opts to play this defense a lot. Trying to flood back in, but Encrypted finally having a rifle round for themselves. A pretty healthy bonus for Nightshade though, like you said. Flawless in the last, now denying all of this rebel control. Encrypted just sitting back, having to respect it. But look at this judge just sitting outside of the smoke as well. It's so much to deal with.
I don't even know if they've hurt the judge in that previous round. And perfect. Apex actually using the stinger to ward that off as well.
Great bait.
The drone, so they didn't even know the judge exists.
Yeah, now opening door, just trying to clear out this B main area. That Gecko Flash gives such great information. 2 players over towards mounds. And just all this info from these players posted up in rubble. The Fade Prowler makes note of one close, but the rotations, the info for Nightshade is just too powerful at the moment.
Yeah, and they're trying, you know, they're poking and prodding. And there are at least some information trays. They know that someone is super close. They've lost all, you know, Encrypted have lost all aiming weapons. So they want to bring out the guns right now. Ibix with a quick one with the stinger, coupled right with the flash from Satella.
Got him.
Perfectly done. That's the judge coming out. Rings Supreme. Dr. J makes a statement and a half onto Juniper as well. It's just a non-stop charade. From the shotgun itself, Insanity caught in a corner, 13 seconds, not much time left.
10
Gonna be
seconds
spotted
left.
out by the boom bop as well, especially with that jump hit. Gonna have to fall back and save that 2 rifles, but the hunt is
One
on no
enemy
less.
remaining.
And Abby, 2K themselves gonna be able to not drop Insanity. Fires back. Not sure what else they could do. Shreu with the final kill and drop on Insanity. No rifles being brought over. 3-0 to Nightshade.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty dominant as well. I mean, that early control from Nightshade over towards A main, and Encrypted really couldn't find a response in the rest of the round, and I mean, time got the best of them, and I mean, Nightshade, 4 players surviving into that one. Look at the economy currently. I mean, over 5k for every single player except for Abby. The economy is booming, and these ultimates are going to be coming up soon. Shrey only 1 away from that Thrash. Just gets it online as well, and it's just going to be taken to Mound, and I would think they go over towards the C site. Surely not investing this Thrash ult from Linsanity, though. Be a big investment into this.
It might be the call here, right? Like when you're eco, you're gonna jump in with Juniper as well. You're gonna try and storm the site with Flash coming out. Nope, you're just gonna drop straight in, and Linsanity starts off with a great headshot and a second to boot. Okay, indeed. Yeah. You turn the tides to get a thrifty on the board. It's a real confidence booster. They're really taking their time right now, holding this corner, trying to figure out what they are. Shrey, with the Thrash on their own, could use that for the counter push, but they're very worried about some of the moves right here. Great Dizzy, especially from the side of Nightshade, but oh, Encrypted just fire back, and it's all but done. Encrypted just getting a great thrifty round with some crazy opening shots from Linsanity.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Sheriff shots to close it out, and a great Gecko blind as well. Blinded Nyx in back sight and kind of allowed to set the rest of the team up, set up for success, and neither team actually had to invest that Thrash ultimate. So a great response, the Operator being brought out for Abix, the Odin for Shrey. So once again, heavy focus from Nightshade over towards Rebel Control, denying this, but an Encrypted eyeing up this B site. It's looking nice and juicy, and only a Trapwire and Satella to sit here. Shot goes wide.
Well, they definitely knew the Operator was holding that, but now the penny must have kind of dropped.
Bring them down.
Where else could they be but or be exact right now? And so the aftershock being pulled back, but Juniper slips through and gets past the Operator, dropping the Omen as well. The site's wide open for the taking. Nyx held back by a lot of smokes as well, but Abby and Nyx able to get 2 of their own, evening out to a 3v3. We have the retake coming on as well. The pinch from the backside is most important, so things are flipped as well. Insanity comes out with a Thrash on the arrow. Nyx will get shot off and detained. Absolutely dominant from the side of Encrypted. It was a great response from them to be able to fall back and wait for the Thrash to come out, to be able to seize the site back for the taking and prevent Nightshade from ever stepping foot onto that B site.
Yeah, great response and a great Thrash to close that out as well. I mean, kind of just got opened up, and unfortunate a little bit for the side of Nightshade. I mean, a few players just getting spammed through the smoke over towards Hobbit now. Encrypted closing that gap 2 to 3. Some impactful ultimates to try to start snowballing as well. The Showstopper 1 off of the Nightfall, but they have to concede this control of Rebel for the time being. Jump spot will be noted, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. The defense control over this area is so powerful. And you just have to come back in the mid round if you actually want this space.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to crack A open at all, right? So they're really detained to B and C, and this gives Nightshade a very strong opportunity to really hold and know where all the Encrypted players are. Trip being dealt with. They'll have to slowly default. It seems like that's what they're doing.
Yeah, they're aware of this control, but they don't really seem like they have a strategy to re-clear this, or like a way to approach it properly. I'll be interested to see how that continues, because I mean, at the current moment, Nightshade is just getting free reign of that space, but the spike making its way over towards C. It's just Abby on their lonesome with the Trapwire to assist.
I got you.
Some rotates to come over, and a Paranoia as well.
There's the Nightfall as well to come out. Insanity gets spotted, deafened, and shot down. Neuro Theft online. to find out the last 3 remaining players. The lurk has been dealt with as well. They're gonna pursue all this to the end, but Abby makes quick work of it. He picks up a 3K before you know it. Nightshade 4-2. Defenders just holding on to this side despite that Nightfall coming in strong as well.
Yeah, great call from Encrypted to go over towards that C side. I mean, it was only Abby there. The rotate from Abix came out, but the Nightfall was just a little uncoordinated. I mean, Juniper really couldn't follow up, popped the showstopper, but Linsanity, or not Linsanity, yeah, Linsanity, excuse me, was the first one going in, and the spike was dropped, and after that, it just all kind of fell apart. Now 2 rounds in the lead, and Abix once again on this operator, posting up, and this A control multitudes, I know I keep hammering in on it, but it is so important for Nightshade to get these early advantages into these rounds.
They haven't really tried to like hard contest, right? And so all the utility there, now 3 stacked up onto Nightshade. They want to bring the fight over and absolutely annihilate Niyamara. Oh my jeez Louise.
Yeah, and Abix picking one up with the operator as well. Just, I mean, Joya just daring to peek into A main, getting scared all that much more. And now, I mean, the credits, you do have some, so Encrypted not necessarily out of this one quite yet, but I mean, limited options for sure, especially when you know the operator is just sitting posted over towards that A site, and 4 players on the west side of the map. I mean, it's going to be a difficult one.
I think so, especially with this operator posted, right? You get so much information and... Oh, okay! Never mind, doesn't get the click. Insanity fires back deadly with those headshots, and so site is going to be a bit more clear to have to deal with. They're sending in little guy with the bomb, but gets trapped up by the molly as well, so they're going to have to retrieve it hard. The satchel in Juniper doesn't realize people have already wrapped around, but Insanity is onto it. 14 seconds left in a 2v2 situation. Has to plant.
10 seconds left.
Nightshade coming in strong. We'll have to reposition after the aftershock comes in. Time is ticking, but they're just managing to get it down. Satella, great shots to be able to hold back Encrypted from pushing out and taking more space. The spike comes down, 300 credits, but not more can be done.
Yeah, and I mean, after they got the opener onto Abix, it looked a little doable, but so just great utility layering from Nightshade, the Gecko Molly to destroy the Wingman plant, as well as that aftershock coming through. Just phenomenal job from the defenders, and now you have a couple strong ultimates, the Thrash as well as the Rolling Thunder, but for the side of Encrypted, not a great buy. I know I said they had some credits, but Joy has 4,400 and is opting for a Bulldog, so a little bit interesting there. Maybe wanting to pick up that operator once again, but aggro play towards B main.
This works. The great shots, great response despite being blinded. Juniper gets one with that Guardian Insanity. A second. This is the start that they need, but Satella tries to even things out onto Katrina. No more smokes for the GC team, and so they're making their way onto the A side. Abix being the contact point here. It could be an explosive round for this side if they manage to catch Abix off. Paranoia comes out. Juniper great, just offsetting that paranoia just a little bit.
Yeah. Now this is going to be a difficult one to get back into for Nightshade, an operator in the hands of Abby 2K. And a 2v4.
They do have Rolling Thunder. They maybe will want to do this, but just so much utility being thrown at them. Want to back off. Abby brings out that operator, but I think a save has to be called at some point in time, and here it is.
And it will get Nayamara, but just a
consolation prize.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I mean, the caster brain, and I mean, Nightshade found success off of that B main play in the round prior, but this time getting punished for it. Encrypted was just ready for it, not wanting to get caught out once again. And I mean, the Sheriff and the Guardian doing wonders there. Juniper with the first blood, and after that, it kind of puts a hindrance in that A setup. Whenever 2 players go down initially, you can't really spread out and play that information game that you were playing in the rounds prior. So a great response from Encrypted.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like how they like pivoted, you know, like they know there's a lot of aggression in B. They were ready for it. Sure, blinded and everything. They got a little lucky, but a plan's a plan. It worked out, and it's looking good whenever they group up.
Yeah. And now finally switching up the setup, Abby over towards that A site. A trap play off this orb tap.
Back to me.
Oh jeez. Okay, wait, what? Linsanity and Nehemiah get away with absolute murder. Thrash comes out being body blocked by their own Cypher. Jeez, get out of the way. Let the guy cook.
Thought they might invest the Rolling Thunder into that, but unfortunate. Now the bomb's gonna get planted here for Encrypted, and this retake might be a little difficult.
Spike planted.
Shreya couldn't get the drop onto the wingman for the plant, but looks like Encrypted GC are feeling hot, feeling strong, and Shreya being dizzied and blinded and everything could only get one. Juniper flings themselves out with the shorty in hand. Teammates on the board, 5-4. It is, despite the differences that we've been talking and all the commentary we've said, the scoreline is tight, 0.
Oh, it definitely is, and I mean, these trap plays not quite working out the way that Nightshade has been wanting. To be honest, Multitudes, I feel like they can just go back to that initial setup that they had, going over towards that A main control, not really doing anything too fancy, playing the rotates to their advantage. It was working so well. Encrypted did not have an answer, but now the gap closing ever so slowly. And just once again trying to get this mountain control, will be able to gain and pick up this orb as well, farming the Thrash. Even though, I mean, Juniper is 2 away, but this C site is prime for the taking if you are Encrypted.
Yeah, Abby doing the smart thing once again. Cameras up, trying to sense for all these entrances. Juniper with a great satchel in. But no one's here on site. Abby's just holding, you know, the push in case they get a little too frisky, a little too aggro. Really waiting for the flank to come in. 3-man flank from the other side to be able to take this spot. Abby with a great opener onto Juniper. Get rid of all that dart as well.
One enemy remaining.
Judge flies in. Nyx with 2 of their own. Oh no, it's Katrina left on their lonesome. Spike caught out in no man's land as well. That kind of fell apart for the side of Encrypted.
Yeah, and now,
30
I mean,
seconds left.
just so much to go through for Katrina. Not going to be able to do it, and the lead being extended by Nightshade, but Multitudes, I mean, Katrina looked like they were going to be the dagger in the back of Nightshade there, re-wrapping the flank, but only was able to pick up one. And once again, the flood retake from Nightshade. Just Abby 2K sitting, having that camera for great information, called the rotates over, and the judge from Nyx being able to pick up 2, just sending it in with the satchels. I mean, just S-tier shotgun play. I love to see the judge being abused. Please nerf that gun a little bit more. I do not want to see it as much as we do, but a full rifle round for both teams in the same setup. Once again, just this crossfire over towards the B site for Nightshade, and trying once again. I mean, Juniper's only 1 off of this showstopper. Katrina as well with the Cosmic Divide, so have some pretty powerful ultimates to potentially invest into this one, and just playing slow, seeing if there's any aggression coming out from Nightshade, but they're just playing it safe. The jump spot as well over towards A, and I mean, you see how much fear is put into Encrypted. They're just so worried about this creep up, but Katrina.
No. Oh no, this back and forth, and Shreya just gets the pixel peek onto Katrina, smokes out of the way. Not the best play, to be honest, to let Katrina take first contact, especially if you're walking into a site that hasn't been explored. Now Juniper will get flashed out, no one's there to help receive. Nyx will drop their counter, Joa with a cross-map shot onto a Bix as well. So they're trying to suss it out, but look at Nehemiah, could not get the drop onto Shreya, unfortunately, even with those cages around. Looks like A might be their only hope left.
Yeah, and not much left to flash peek.
One
blind up
remaining.
Joya, and now it's all up to Linsanity on the A side. Bomb will go down, but this is going to be a tough one, and just can't make it do. And I mean, that is Nightshade getting up to it. I gotta say, the early conditioning from Nightshade on that defense over towards A, I mean, it has done so much work in the latter part of this half.
Yes,
Last
yes.
round
They only
in the
they
half.
popped a single smoke right that last round onto the A early. Attackers spawn, and they threw no other utility, and they didn't want to push. So well conditioned. But we might see a battle now, though.
Yeah, finally, for the first time, 12 rounds in, we're actually seeing the first A main fight. But
getting there.
I don't even think we are, because look at how far back some of these players are. It's just Linsanity setting over. Okay, maybe, but
Wait.
it's just the nade in response. We haven't really seen Juniper send it, and Linsanity pushes through the smoke.
Spike down A.
Yeah, it's just a little too late, like you just let Insanity once again walk out through the smoke on their own. Joyet's gonna have to jump out from the nades, get some chip damage as well. They're throwing everything in the kitchen sink right now, especially with the spike down. Showstop
player
online,
standing.
Thrash online. They're just hunting all these players left and right, and it's just a final Niamara who can do no more but one. Nightshade at the half, 8-4, defender sided, locked and
Switching
loaded.
sides.
Yeah, and I think Nyx even got like team detained from that Thrash there, so
Jeez.
okay, unfortunate if you're them, but a really good defense half for Nightshade, and we can kind of see why this is their own map pick. But now swapping over to that attack side, especially with this double initiator, you would think it might be pretty successful for it, but if Encrypted want a chance back into this, it would start right here with this pistol, as we see 4 players grouping up to do something they didn't do on the attack F, which is take a rubble control. Nightshade just like, nah, we're just gonna take C here, and it's just Niamara by themselves. A single triple
Really
wire.
is. See how Niamara handles this, especially with the nades coming in. I think getting rid of the chip's still alive, satcheling straight in, getting some chip damage onto Niamara, and a single smoke holds them back, and just the absolute disrespect comes out blazing. Abby picks up a couple on the flank right now, but Encrypted, one known, one in CT, tall order.
It is indeed, and I don't know if this is doable.
No more
That
dreams.
is a first though,
Bring them
and
down.
the plant is a bit interesting. It should be, yeah, it is planted for mounds. A great
it is.
aftershock as well to delay in time. It's running low.
I'll find you.
Gonna try and figure this out as well, especially when the haunt is being taken care of. They know it's just a stack. Nightshade have played so disciplined, and they're looking for maybe exit frags with to die to the spike. That's basically all they can hope for
Player
right
standing.
now. And unfortunately, the former is not going to be the case.
Yeah. Linsanity as well, gonna go down to the spike, just not trying to give any ultimate orbs like you mentioned. And yeah, once again, the second pistol round's going the way of Nightshade. Doesn't look like we're gonna see any force into this once again from the side of Encrypted, so just playing it safe. And Nyx with this Judge on the attack as well, a bit, maybe not where you see it all the time, but I mean, they were putting in work with it on that first half, so I only can imagine what's going to be done here. But a pretty big stack, 3 players posted up over towards A, and I want to talk about some of the bigger implications. I mean, Split is not a map that we've seen from Encrypted in the past, so going over towards that map pick, they have to feel pretty confident to be picking it of their own. And I mean, after a dominant map 1, there's Nightshade really just can continue this unless Encrypted kind of just are able to bounce back mentally.
Yeah, it's like you call it, best of 3s are always a bit of a marathon. And look, no sounds have been made. A Bix popped up in a very odd corner. Actually, Niamara chooses not to push out, just getting all this information in case people are making sounds in space. But the spike slowly making his way onto B, as you can tell. As the exec coming out there, satcheling in. That is the Judge you talked about, taking all this smoke space as well. Neymar actually managed to get the flank. That's a great start from them.
Should be a Guardian to pick
Nightshade
up
down
as well.
by 1.
Headshot.
Yeah, exactly. And so that should be a bit of a upgrade. Using that Guardian to work. Abby with a great shot onto Kiamara. It's a 3v2 situation at the moment. Encrypted trying to poke and prod with a Ghost and a Classic in hand. No less to
Last
try and figure
player
out where
standing.
the spike might be in Joya. Last to fall. Abby cleans up 3k to the name, double digits for Nightshade.
Yeah, and maybe not as strong as a anti-eco as they had in the first half, but still pretty good. I mean, Abby putting in work with these pistols. A 2k in the first round on the lurk, and then just being so consistent with that sheriff now. Encrypted, able to buy up into this, and I like this setup once again from Nightshade. I mean, just they had so much success over towards the C site in the pistol round, so why not at least attempt it once more? But that flash gives so much information to Encrypted.
Indeed, right? You want to be able to rotate immediately. It's a bit slow right there, but finally the rotations from Encrypted are coming through. Now before Nightshade takes complete control of the site. Great trips and great hold from Neymar gets the 4K. The nades are hunting for a fifth, but Juniper, a bit of a team kill, unfortunately seizes that ace opportunity away. It's all left on Satella, who could not do anything more. Juniper with the ace steal and the final kill from the side of Encrypted. Great show for their bonus to put 5 on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of greeting at the end just to try to get that ace. Just running through the nade, not a care in the world, but I mean, insane play. I mean, the first was picked up off the tripwire, a great setup to kind of just do exactly what they just did. I mean, prevent any push through into CT, spam through, but able to get 3 after the first kill that was lit up by the tripwire is just nasty work. And yeah, I mean, pretty flawless from the defenders here, and potentially they could get this round as well. Maybe able to string a few together and get themselves in a nice situation to make a comeback on map number 1 of Lotus, but farming up the ultimate orbs on the side of Nightshade, and now deciding to rotate, re-clear some of this A main space, and it's Juniper posted up towards Rubble that will be here to receive this.
Yeah, I probably hear a lot of noise as well. Lizzie does not spot them out, but have to know that someone there needs to push the advancements just a little back, forcing a lot of rotates from the side of Encrypted GC onto the A side, and the nades come out.
Oh, what an aid.
Great shots from there. Now the lurk up, Abby gets the drop onto Katrina. This is the opener and the weave that they have. The site's completely split wide open, right? Encrypted GC players, all known as well. They backed up all the way to CT. They worry about all sorts of flanks that might happen, but C's for the taking and sees where they'll go.
Finally, Abby being shut down on that lurk, just doing so much for her team though in this round, and great calling to get this C site, and now 3v4 on this retake, but it's going to be a difficult one for Encrypted GC here.
Yeah, they're playing on-site, right? Nightshade, 2 on-site, 2 off-site. You know, I've got a lot of post-plant utility as well. We're starting off with, you know, 8 utilities from Encrypted themselves, but the stuns are strong, especially when Abix just gets rid of Wingman trying to do their job. Joya trying to peek around this corner, trying to get Nyx. Could not get anything more. It's insanity for one of their own, but time is a ticking. Nyx still on site, and I think at least both these players are going to drop to bomb. Nothing more they could do. Nightshade 11-5.
I mean, just a perfect round coming out from the IGL of Nightshade. I mean, going over, getting early C control, picking up that ultimate orb, then rotating over, trying to clear out some of that space, getting the pick on to Juniper, and then, I mean, pivoting back after Abby picks up that lurk play, and just great, just macro overall rotations, phenomenal. And now, I mean, pushed onto a scrappy buy, a couple rifles, a Guardian for Encrypted, and it's just going to be the insanity giving info to the rest of their team, but not going to be able to contest over towards A, and an early pick for Shrew as well. Trey,
So
apologies.
unlucky from the side of Insanity, right? Just could not hold back the advancements, and the lurk from Abby proves once again too strong. Katrina drops. We're left once again in a 5v3 situation. We've got Thrash and the Showstopper online, and Niamara is down too. Oh, it's just such a tall order at the moment for the side of Encrypted GC.
Yeah, and as well, Thrash. Joya, okay, able to get one, but like I said, the Thrash and the Showstopper, if they need to invest this for Nightshade, so as well as this higher lower with the flash
Last player
contact.
standing.
I mean, the discipline, man, is just crazy.
Absolutely wild. Like we saw that during the first round, we're seeing that in this round. It's just Nightshade have prepped through and through. They know exactly how all this works, and Joy's trying to get an exit frag, gets one of their own, but you know how. Oh, okay, making it interesting. Now, granted, we're moving into possibly the last round here, so economy, you know, might not be too much of a concern, but Encrypted GC are gonna struggle with your guns.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Multitude, I mean, Nightshade, we can see why they definitely are one of the most dominant teams. I mean, 2-1 maybe isn't a flawless record, but just, I mean, great fundamentals coming out from them. And to be honest with you, I think that really does get you a super far distance in the Tenax series. I mean, when so many teams are so reliant on mechanics, if you just stick together and trade each other out, you're really going to win a lot of these rounds, a lot of these gunfights in your favor. A quick play to gain a rebel control, but once again, Encrypted not really wanting to contest anything over towards this A site. I mean, Nightshade's put the fear of God into them on this one.
They have to know that Abby's lurking. They have to, right? They're sending a boombot just to suss things out, but Abby, ooh, Houdini's out of it.
But, I mean, they've been here for the past 4 rounds. Surely they're aware of it. No tripwire as well. They are spotting it out just a little bit, but Nightshade's so patient on this one.
Joya is going to be first contact. Could not get
Crazy.
Abby.
It's crazy.
Just just the conditioning is ridiculous. And right now, stepping out from the smoke as well. Abby picks up a second, hearing Juniper run up to try and save the rifle. The intent was there. Shoulder spotted from Niamara as well. And the dance of the ciphers start.
Even able to get the third. I mean, I was gonna say the C site was gonna be gains, but I mean, Abby's just done their job and more. It's crazy. Bomb now down 2v5 for this retake.
They're really looking to close this out quickly. Abby gets blinded by their own paranoia, but the showstopper to just conclude things. Linsanity having a dream and a half right now on this 12-5 last round they really have. Trying to go around the world to get to the site, but I don't think time's on their side. 0. It's gonna end right here, right now, and I think the first on the board in terms of map-wise is gonna go to Nightshade in seconds.
Yeah, it's gonna be closing it out. I mean, no saving in this one. It's just gonna end up going 13-5 for Nightshade, being able to take their map pick. And I gotta say, Multitudes, it was a dominant performance to start us off for the night. And I mean, a lot of that was off the back of Abby. I mean, just, I would easily the MVP of that map for me.
Oh, 100%, right? Like Abby, second half was doing absolute legwork. Like just knowing the rotations, just understanding the inherent initiative and understanding of player movements and rotations. Okay, we've made sound on C, we've made sound on A. It's likely people are moving. I'm just gonna lurk here and get 1, 2, 3 kills. Wild, absolutely wild.
I don't know exactly what the KPR was on that second half, but I literally think, except for one round, she at least got 2 kills, if not 3, every single attack round. It was just insane work. And I mean, if that's the type of performance we're going to be seeing on splits, this might be a quick 2-0, but just quick recap of that. And yeah, look at this here. 19-10 for Abby 2K, 302 ACS as the Sentinel. And on the other side, I mean, Niamara was putting up work as well. So both ciphers doing a good job.
Yeah, very much so, right? And it's not to say that Encrypted didn't give us a few rounds to really hype over. I feel like they did best when they moved together as a team, as a wrecking ball. They picked up their first on the board on the Thrifty, and then they had a couple of win streaks in the first half, but couldn't find their footing when they were dispersed across on the defensive side. So would be interesting to see how they move into the next round on Split. They are going to be on attack again. Do they really hedge on their successes going into the next one? They need to step up to be able to put map 3 on the board as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it is their map pick. Like we have been saying, Lotus is a map they haven't really felt comfortable in the past on. So maybe just an off map that has been abused by the map select, just putting it in the back of their map pool. I mean, this is the third compositional choice that they've had, changing it every single time they've played. So hopefully a lot more to come in Split. But before that, we do have a short break to throw it to, but make sure not to go anywhere. We will be right back with map number 2 of Split. Welcome back. After that short little break, we are here with Tenax Series 3, Week 4, presented by Harmony Esports, of course. And my name is Zero Fight, of course, joined by the lovely Multitudes. But we just got back from an exciting map number 1 of Lotus Nightshade's map pick and taking that 13-5. But now we're going to be going over to the map pick of Encrypted of Split, so should be a good swap up, and I'm excited to see how Encrypted are going to bounce back.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be quite exciting, especially like you kind of talked about. Split is their map pick. Hopefully they have some strats to come in, but what I really want to be able to see them do, as I kind of mentioned before the break, is for them to really work as together. I feel like their best moments for the previous map was when they were able to kind of get the trades off each other together. The defaults were not as strong, and I felt like Nightshade were sort of abusing that to the best of their ability. So Encrypted, unless they have a change in pace or change in heart, or their coach kind of stepped them off to the side to have a good heart-to-heart, playing together on Split, it's going to be a great start. If you spend like a 3-2 down the mid plus a side hit, it's great for that.
Yeah, and this isn't actually a map that we've seen from Encrypted in the past, so maybe some cooking coming up here, maybe changing over and deciding to go towards it. Maybe a Tejo. I would be down to see some Tejo here. I definitely think Split is one of those premium Tejo maps. To be honest, I think every map's a Tejo map because he's just kind of rusted. But I think Split really gets a lot of value. So maybe something cooking up there. But I definitely agree. I want to see a lot of togetherness from Encrypted, as well as, like you said, just a improvement of that macro strategy of these defaults. But heading into Agent Select here, we're going to be seeing Abby2K actually go over to those smokes. Was on the Cypher last map on Lotus, so definitely going to be, once again, keeping an eye on her, as, just popping off on map number 1, but maybe a chamber here, potentially, from Satella.
Maybe a chamber, maybe a neon on Split. That is very peculiar. That's something you don't necessarily, never mind, a big locking in that Cypher. Okay. Double smokes from the side of Nightshade. Shrew and Abby running that Viper plus Owen. Very classic pick from the side of Split.
Yeah.
You get some great lurks with Shrey on that Viper. So it would be very interesting to see how they abuse that.
A lot of control definitely coming out from this kind of standard 2024 Split comp that we've come to know and love. And for the other side, maybe this Tejo is going to come out. Hasn't locked it in quite yet, but very similar. Nayamara logging in the Jet rather than the Raze, though, which is a bit interesting. If Joya does go for this Tejo, we'll be looking at that to really try to shut down those Cypher lurks. But yeah, no nade, no Roomba to help in those defaults. But I think if Nayamara could potentially get an op online early, especially on that defense, even on the attack op, it would be good. And we are going to be seeing the Tejo. I'm really excited to see what Encrypted has cooked up and how they kind of approach this. Because I think, especially on the attack, there's so much util to dump into these site execs. So we'll have to get into it. But yeah, once again, Katrina actually swapping over to the Omen rather than the Astra that they were playing on Lotus. So another point of note.
Yeah. Astra always useful for those global smokes, but opting maybe for slightly different play style here on this Split sites map number 2. Best of 3 we have. Nightshade have 1 map under their belt. This is Encrypted's time to fire back and put themselves back onto the board, and they're running for a map 3 right now, all grouped up outside that B, and I'm excited to see this Tejo.
Yeah, I definitely am. And don't forget, Multitudes, this is the last chance for Encrypted to potentially have a shot in making playoffs. Needs this map to take it to map number 3 of Pearl if they even want a chance to get into playoffs. For Nightshade, this is just about securing a deeper position, but starting into this push round, a quick one for the defense of Nyx, just sending it into A main. But that is some great information, even though no one was seeing the call from Insanity as well, and just a retake setup from the side of Nightshade.
We've definitely seen this before. Big's just hold up in CT spawn right now, letting the site come to them and let the plant
Spike
come down, but
planted.
it's the retake that they're doing so well in. A Big's holding this corner, the smoke dance. Niyamara gets away with that shot. Nyx shuts down Juniper from the heavens as well. The execs coming around, they're peering around these corners, but Mira just getting shots after shots. Shreya Sisela fire back. We're not in 2v2 situation.
Last player
Katrina
standing.
held back by the smoke, pushing out. They know where that final Katrina player is as well. The smoke comes out, gets the headshot by Shreya. Stray just getting the drop onto the final Omen player. First on the board, yet once again, it goes to Nightshade.
Yeah, that's the third pistol round in a row for Nightshade, and I mean, if you're able to convert this many pistols, I mean, that's a great start in and of itself. I mean, the economy getting started off well, the ult economy as well, so great looks from the defenders, and I mean, that early play over towards A main is kind of what allowed them to have those rotations, but now I'm looking at Nyx. We saw them lean into this judge buy so much, and now coming into split the best judge map, I just expect this gun to continue to be abused, and Abby 2K as well with this outlaw posted over towards B main, and I mean, we were talking about how powerful this gun can be in the last
All
3
missiles
players
away.
here
Yeah.
to punish any mid pressure.
That is Teho using work, but the judge is there once again. Do they check this corner? Barely as Nyx gets away with the 3K. Ooh, just absolute show of force right there. They cleared the wrong corner with those salvos and they got punished for it.
Yeah, they definitely did. Investing both of them over towards Vince instead of trying to have one clean over towards Mail, and Abby 2K cleaning it up, but it will be Encrypted this round with the rifles. But I gotta say, if Nyx is gonna lean heavily into this judge and even the outlaw from Abby, I mean, just overall through this map, Teho needs to have great salvo placements. I mean, you have the drone as well for extra info. You have the Skydog for a second drone. So there's so much info, so much re-clear potential. You can't be going through these corners, just leaving them unchecked. And now a quick dog to get Encrypted control of this. The dash to follow it up, but the rotates are already here in Vince.
Yeah, Nightshade's retakes, those are the killers, right? And they're once again letting the site be available for the taking. No, they bring the fight over. Niyamura has done crazier things, holding back the advancements from Nightshade. Cloudburst comes out, gonna have to give space as the dog hunts them down. But entire heavens plus screen is under Nightshade control. Encrypted GC are caught in a very tight corner. Satchel comes in, but with that distraction, the Bix gets the drop. Niyamura steps out from the shadows and gets 3 of their own. Share with the backstab. Great lurk through that CT. It's a 1v2 situation though. Spectre in hand against 2 Phantoms. Trying to isolate. Could actually get it, but Niyamura just quicker on the headshot. 4K to the name. First on the board to Encrypted GC.
Yeah, great work from Niyamura to, I mean, survive in the first place after there was so much pressure on some 4 players trying to fight them in a heaven there, but got out with their life and kind of took the round over the edge for Encrypted, but the only 2 players surviving, not a lot of rifles gonna be able to be brought over into round number 4, but they do have the knives, so a little bit of additional weaponry being able to be used, but a similar setup from Nightshade as well, just sticking to it, confident in their setup that once again can work as long as Niyamura doesn't get another 4K, but this drone didn't really hit anything. This exec is coming out.
Exec's coming out indeed, and the
down
Bix just
A.
is holding down the fork on the site. The Cyphers are dancing around that mid space as well. I'm not sure if Nyx is going to be able to get anyone. Okay, Trina just gets out of the way. Juniper drops a Bix. The site control is within Encrypted GC right now, but Abby is trying to make quick work within the cage as Juniper puts that up. Spike now caught on site. And the last 2 players of Encrypted GC are forced out.
Yeah, and Nayamara was sitting over in
Here.
mid trying to pick something up, but I mean, the rest of their team were trying to go
Last
in
player
without
standing.
that entry. It's just so hard. I mean, Katrina shut down as well, and now... Okay, there's the first. Only one blade in hand, though.
30 seconds left.
Picked up the Phantom. Knows, I think there's one in heaven, so knows exactly where these two players are. Trying to isolate these 1v1s, bait out some kind of response with some, pixel peeks here and there. But once again, Nightshade extremely disciplined with it. And Satella just swings out after the first contact from Trey. 3-1.
Yeah, a good try to take down that 3v1 from Nayamara. But I mean, I gotta say, it is a bit rough if you're Encrypted trying to send it in to where the Cypher is set up without your jet, without your entry to kind of be that person to break open the site for your team, and that kind of cost them the round there. Now though, just Sheriff's a Bulldog for Joya, and they will be able to have the Seekers into this if they so choose. On the other side, Nightshade is close to a few very strong ultimates, and look at this play in B main, just heavily contesting this. 3 players here to get this orb as well, and that's the showstopper picked up for Nyx.
Oh, that could be a deadly one as well. We've seen Nyx absolutely wild with some of these. The stealth drone slowly clearing out the space. I think they spot Abby in this corner, and so the fight ensues, and Joy goes down. Well, Abby's trying to reposition as well. That's not a great start, especially when you use utility to clear that corner.
And can't even feel comfortable to try to get this Bulldog. But
Yeah.
we'll hear those 2 players running away. Now going to pick up that gun and re-clear this B main space. As Juniper trying to get something, but is spotted out from that camera, excuse me, and Insanity has just been sitting here in mid, just seeing if anyone's going to peek them. But finally,
Blinded.
some decisions where to go.
It's quite stacked though. There's 3 players all in mid. They have to isolate these fights.
30
Insanity
seconds left.
couldn't get a first. Trey holds down the fort. Holds the second as well. Katrina's there right at the background to be able to trade out. 4v2. Opting to maybe regroup with the Cypher who's looked up semi-up A heaven.
Yeah, and
One enemy remaining.
Abix will be able to get 12 seconds on the clock, and
10 seconds left.
I don't know if there's anything left to do for Katrina. Ooh, not quite. And
Bit of a shame. Couldn't get the final kill either. So fourth, bit of a steamrolling from the side of Nightshade right now.
yeah, great start for map number 2, especially when this isn't your map pick. I mean, 2 ultimates now. Nyx with the showstopper, Shrey with that Viper's Pit. I mean, Abby does have the from the shadows as well, but not as impactful of an ult. But I mean, we've seen how many cool ideas this Nightshade team has with this showstopper, how effective Nyx is with it. So maybe going to try something. What an early pit to deny mid information, and that is going to be completely cut off. But using double drone is a bit interesting. Trying to clear out 2 different spots, but Abix
just pulled up in this corner right now, trying to get the drop. Niyamara pushes the smoke, gets out Abix. We're in a 5v4 situation. Neurotheft online as well. They know where all these final 4 players are. The pit will have to be just cleared. And the stun, the package from Teho, just brilliant to stun and hold back the advancement. So a lot of site security from the side of Encrypted. Niyamara held up in his hell. Still online as well, and they just drop up from the heaven. Niyamara does crazier things with that 4K pistol out, and Insanity steals away the ace, but just absolutely doing work for the side of Encrypted. And see how much of a power force they are when they work together and explode onto site.
Yeah, and I mean, a great call to just kind of ignore that. I don't know if it was related to the Viper's Pit, if they talked about it in the pre-round, but just completely ignoring the Viper's Pit, going over towards the B site where there's only 1 player, and just overwhelming Abix. But I gotta make note, so far, I mean, the 2 rounds that Encrypted has won has been off of the back of Nightmare getting a 4K in each of this. I mean, currently sitting 11 and 4. Katrina, though, picked up this attack operator, and going back to a bit of a slower play, we not really seeing success off of this. And also, I gotta say, this lineup with this orb from Shrey is a little bit off in middle, but that's okay. Just had to make note of that. And now, there's no one really on this site, so it should be free to take for Encrypted.
Yeah, they're coming in hot right now. Abby spots a couple of hits, decides to hold back as couldn't get a clear shot at the moment. Worried about mid. There's a couple players actually here in mid as well. Line themselves out. Niyamura gets another, just not unstoppable until Nyx puts an end to that. The operator rings out, could not connect. So Paranoid comes out, will get stunned up by the dog as well. So much attention has been drawn away from that mid, and so there's time and time a ticking.
So much time as well. You have these Tejo salvos, but the showstopper coming out.
Able to get Insanity as well. Abby fires back. Juniper goes down. They're actually holding off the advancements from the Encrypted GC. And now the defuse is coming out. Okay, Salvo is going to try to stick that. Oh, they actually prevented the defuse. Wait! Joya with the salvos coming in and clutch in the last possible moments. Absolutely nail biter of an ending right there. Almost got the defuse off.
I mean, that had to be milliseconds. Picking up 3 with the salvos. And, I mean, the lurk play, Katrina just baiting so much time in middle as well. I mean, just kind of took the round over the edge, and the salvos just to clean it up. Disgusting work from Encrypted. Finally having an answer back 2 rounds in a row now. And Nayamara with the knives once again, and aggression on the defense.
Nayamara unfortunately couldn't get away with anything. You see this aggressiveness. Great play from the side of Nightshade, to be honest. They're on an eco, so they want to be able to do something a bit more rash.
Yeah, but the site will be able to be taken. I mean, cage triggered. No real contention. Abby 2K being taken down, and with just sheriffs in hands, might be rough, but deciding to fight a little bit aggressively will be spotted out.
Yeah, they want to be able to fight all the way over, and Stella dropping their counter. Big's there with the follow. Okay, this is turning the tides a bit too fast right now. But we have Joya's ultimate as well, and just at least getting the spike down to a half at the moment. Ibix opting to hop back onto that cage, protecting them. The spike's coming down and will be defused just in the nick of time. Joya tries to fire back and drop a couple more players, but that is the operator being left alone as well in the heavens. Just stolen right from under their noses, to be honest.
Yeah, I had been liking what I've been seeing from Encrypted, but that was pushing it a little bit. I gotta say, the push into CT with the 2 players with rifles, when you know Nightshade doesn't have any weapons, and they were just able to get picked off of that, and it kind of just snowballed out of control from there. The Armageddon not being able to convert anything, and a thrifty round.
Get out of my way!
Not exactly what you want to be seeing if you are the attackers here, but gonna be trying to quickly respond. Once again, this play to gain ramps control, and it's once again just Abix set up over towards A by their lonesome.
Yeah, the walls are proving very useful to hold back, you know, the advancements, but finally the stealth drone comes out, trying to seek out where that cipher is, but you know, elbow has been cleared, so the lurk starts slow and steady. Niyamura, knives out, trying to spot out anyone from this spot, but will get backstabbed by Shrey just in the last possible moment.
Spike will get planted here, but the rotates are here quickly from Nightshade, getting set up for this retake, but this should be a difficult one, even though there's numbers in their favor, but I mean, that's a great opener.
Alright, bit by bit right now, Joya will be held back by the nades. This is the lurk of a sentry though, as they storm this site. It's all on Joya, who's a bit too late to get to the site in a 1v5 situation. Shrey picks up their 3k, spike will be defused. It was just like the announcer called it, flawless execution from Nightshade. The exec for the retake, just beautifully done, masterclass.
Yeah, and it is really hard there if you're in Joya's shoes. I mean, you're just trying to wait for your salvos to come back online, B, that last player alive to try kind of stall out, but just not able to convert any of those gunfights. So a bit unfortunate. 3 rounds now separating these teams. And a full rifle round for each, but the money is getting out of control for Nightshade, and if Encrypted lose this one, they'll be set back down to another eco, at least for most of these players, and they need a response, they need a resurgence.
They do. They're trying to do the same thing right now with the salvos, trying to clear out vents, but the smoke prohibits them from pushing. Maybe just a little too early, you know, those salvos.
Yeah, not really able to capitalize off of it, and a great positioning. Look at how well they're playing this middle area for Nightshade. The dog didn't clear!
You don't check Stray backstabs Neomar, trying to push out, and Stancy is just held back by that orb as well. So we're left in a 5v4 situation. Abby also holding this smoke at the moment. Juniper just on the other side of this dark cover. Gonna have to back off right before the smoke clears, but unfortunate, right? They're re-clearing that mid space with Dog as well, so much map control given to Nightshade.
Yeah, and Abby just playing their life, jiggling and making sure that she doesn't get caught out. These double smokes, like you mentioned, have been so difficult, but Flash instantly punished for Juniper. Not able to get anything in the response, and
30
now
seconds
left with 3v5. You gotta be looking to save here if you are the attack side of Encrypted.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't even do that.
One enemy remaining.
Sisela will be able to drop to Katrina as well, just lurking in the corner. It's just Linsanity left. They're just playing these individual fights. You saw like Juniper just jumped up
10
for the
seconds
smoke
left.
themselves in a 180 crossfire situation. It was just over before they knew it.
It's a bit rough. I mean, maybe call a timeout here. A few good kills just to get
We know what
something,
we're doing.
some
Trust
guns,
each
but I
other
mean,
and we'll be fine.
Nightshade should be able to buy back up, but I mean, 2 rounds left in this half, Multitudes, and Encrypted, if they don't want this to end quickly, I mean, you need an adjustment, you need to find a way to get through these double smokes, this Sentinel setup as well. It's just so much util to go through.
It is true. It is true. They've been poking and prodding, but the regroup is where the money's at, and we haven't quite seen that just yet. So we'll see if they do something a little different here as they slowly make their way onto B. This might be the first few times they don't walk into a Cypher-ridden site. Okay, operators there.
You're ahead of the dog.
Never mind, Abby. Yeah. Jeez. Stealth drone comes out just at the last possible time. Nyx responds in kind with nades of their own, holding from the heavens. Tall order right now. Shut out from B.
And it is definitely a tall order. So difficult. It feels like Nightshade is just suffocating their opposition currently. Nowhere for Encrypted to really go safely. I mean, the only place that they've been able to gain consistently is that A ramp control with their early play there. Maybe try to go back into that, see if you can capitalize and do something with that space that you're getting, but looks like they will be deciding to go over towards B.
And B, they will get punished once more. Abby, great repositioning with that operator as well.
30 seconds
now,
left.
2v5, 30 seconds left as the announcer has called it. We're double stacked in male as well, so that's B completely locked out. They haven't explored A whatsoever. It's a lot to do at the moment, so just economy picks and maybe outbuild.
I don't know that
10
Abby is
seconds
aware
left.
of this on the right.
One enemy remaining.
Not able to do much, and an 8th for the defense, and
Last round before the switch.
I mean, it's not undoable for sure, but I mean, looking at this Tejo comp, you'd think they'd be thriving on this attack side. We were talking about how much util they have to kind of dump to take parts of the map, and they really haven't seen the consequences of that, the fruits of their labor coming to fruition, but we are going to be seeing this hit over towards A, so maybe something to come here, especially if they can get this 4th round. It's not over yet. Plenty of Valorant still to play, and the Seeker's ripped right off the bat.
Cabbages looking for Abex for a bit of an information gain. The site is within their control, which is really important right now. Myanmar pushed up all the way in. Okay.
Spike planted.
Gets spotted out by the cams. Satella using the opportunity for a bit of a backstab as well, especially with the paranoia.
Yeah.
Oh no! The Amira just getting shut out completely. Abex in the corner getting Linsanity, tries to aggress all the way in and it's just left and right. Oh! Okay. Juniper wasn't able to get away with anything more but a single kill onto their counter. Nightshade just so powerful with their retakes through vents, knowing exactly where all these players are for that explosiveness. First half, a very dominant
Switching
zero
sides.
fight.
Yeah, I mean, Nightshade look very practiced on this map for sure. They look confident in their defensive calls as well. The rotates have been almost perfect. And Encrypted now going to be swapping over to that defense side themselves. So maybe going to have some different ideas to come into this. Nightshade, I mean, the Tejo is relatively new, so could catch Nightshade off guard potentially with some of these retake setups or reclears in the mid round. I think you're going to be wanting to play aggressive, not let Nightshade get set up in the post plants. But look at this, just triple holding outside of A for any aggression early on. Just so aware of everything that Encrypted can do, but it's not really anything coming out. Both teams
Nah.
just playing very cautious.
Very, very cautious indeed. I think it's a bit of a wasted opportunity. You know, like you talked about, Teo is online. The salvos actually regenerate super quickly, so using them off the cuff immediately once the timer and the bears go down is actually super beneficial. And right now, Nightshade are starting to make their way onto the mid, but look at the lurk from Katrina. The corner,
there.
shoulder corner spotted as well.
Oh, Nix. Oh, Nix. Chose the wrong corner. Thought they had a little area to breathe.
Unfortunately, Paranoia, good for it, and Juniper and
One
Joya are
enemy
cleaning
remaining.
up shop as Nightshade try to storm their way onto the side. Abyx left on their lonesome in mid, nowhere near Spike. And those salvos came in super handy to be able to at least, you know, do a lot of chip damage and drop one of their own.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much range they have. Abix, okay, just able to get one before they get traded out. And like you were saying, I mean, the salvos do recharge insanely quickly. And with how, I mean, widespread they are, we just gotta be honest with ourselves here. It's the most busted ability in the game. It's ridiculous.
It really is. It really is.
So he's so
Ryan,
good.
You're hearing this. You got a nerf.
And I mean, we kind of saw it come out there, and if they continue to see value like that in the rest of this half, they definitely could have a comeback. Encrypted picking up the first pistol round of their series, so maybe turning a new leaf here. Early drone gets great information.
Yeah, and the trade comes out as well. Abby and Katrina both go down. The Amira shuts down trade. That's both smokes out for the side of Nightshade. Very fast work, but losing players as well just a little bit in a 3v2 situation. They're all holed up right now. Nightshade in vents.
Yeah, and this crossfire that was mighty deadly.
Very much
One
could be
enemy
deadly,
remaining.
but using the cage to isolate doesn't
down
even
A.
matter because Joy is there to receive Apex. Fires back and Nirmars from the backstab as well. Puts a second on the board in this second half. 5-9, getting a little steam right now, but here's where the money's made in the bonus.
Yeah, and it was definitely a good bonus just to be able to convert that. Definitely, you saw 4 people buying into that just to confirm, okay, we get this round, we can maybe start snowballing this, we just need to confirm it, and they did. 5 rounds for Encrypted and 2 off of this Armageddon for Joya. Could be a huge ultimate if they decide to potentially farm this up. So we see a flash for early info for Satea to feed their team, but just holding for Encrypted, or for Nightshade, excuse me, not wanting to give anything, but that might have been heard. I'm not sure if that reaches, but deciding just to leave
Yeah.
and re-clear mid.
Joya sent out that stealth drone pretty early on to clear mid, and that's why they're all huddled up in A right now. But the dog is slowly making his way to seize some of that map control for themselves. Nightshade making way through mid. It's very heavily stacked A, and no one's here to receive. Okay, salvos to try and force them back. Ooh, great shot from the side of near Mira onto Shrey from that lurk play. That's the power of the Viper, but it was very quickly dealt with. And Nightshade are maybe looking for revenge.
Yeah, great reclear. And now, I mean, Nightshade feel like they have to come back and set their sights, but Linsanity has an early angle on this. The Viper can't put those smokes up to cross anymore.
30
but
seconds left.
The timing on that, just deciding to play a bit further back of an angle, but
Spam through the smoke. Couldn't catch anyone as the satchel works their way. Abix is going to be the clutch here. If they can get some sort of kill through vents, while the rest of Encrypted group up in heavens as well as screens. You see Nyx having to reposition, gets caught out near Mira, does quick work of it, and Abby fires back on their own. Right now, Encrypted are storming the side, but Abby's there to receive as well. Abix fires from the heaven. Juniper is trying to hold back the re-aggression, dance around with the guns as well. We're in a 1v2 situation. Joya, 45 HP, trying to isolate these fights, dancing around Satella, able to get the wall bang headshot, double digits for Nightshade.
yeah, Nightshade doing a great job on site there. It was a 2v5 on site, and Nightshade was able to pick up 3 kills. And then Abix, even if they weren't able to, it should have been, I mean, a very close round at that, but able to close it out, responding pretty quickly. And now both teams, I mean, this round might be for all the marbles. Encrypted need to get this one or their economy will be shattered. Nightshade looking in the same situation and getting posted early, but dashing away.
Great early stealth drone to be able to, try and get some information, but not overstaying their welcome. So backing off a little bit, repositioning.
Yeah, and now having these salvos potentially off of the tripwire, trying to capitalize a little bit of a trap.
Oh, a trap indeed! Nyx Nyx just being able to get out in the nick of time, but the secret package gets deployed. Abix is there to receive the swing out from Joya, and Nearmir as well gets shut down from across the site. Juniper left in a lonesome situation here, trying to fire back from the hell. Satella gets the trade. And the cabbages, not cabbages, sorry, that's just a healing to bring Nyx back up to speed. Final 2 players from Encrypted in CT. Trying to make their way, but the flank from Shrey. Oh, jeez.
And Abby, I mean, so many layers for this side of Nightshade, just constantly having just one more player on the lurk, one more player to worry about. Linsanity.
Last player standing.
Yeah, they were rightly worried so indeed, and it's just, just letting this happen. Oh my gosh, just the slow and steadiness, the discipline. I think they were looking for a knife. 0-5.
I thought we were
if
gonna
I
see
were to
it.
guess, I thought so too.
But just decided to close it out there, which honestly I respect. And if you're the side of Nightshade, especially with how dominant they've been looking, you just want to make sure you close this out. Make sure you finish out your lead, play disciplines, and if they continue to perform like this, if they continue to keep up their fundamentals, their discipline, they might be looking to be a heavy contender for a deep run into playoffs. But first, we have the map of Split to finish once again. Just waiting out any aggression over towards A main. And Nayamara, with this dash popped, is going to insert themselves, but won't be able to get out anymore. Just hoping the jump spot from Linsanity will bait enough.
Oh, this is gonna be tough right now. The paranoia is primed and ready.
All 3.
You know that a lot of people are around this corner as well. And Abby just swings out. Nearmir gets the trade, but Nyx is there to receive 2 of their own. The site is completely wide open as well. So Encrypted GC are scrambling for answers in this 2v4.
Yeah, it has the Armageddon in the hands of Joya.
Spike
So
planted.
potentially, if they get a pick, would be tempted to invest this, but
Drone going out.
that is a big ask, and here comes that stealth drone, not able to ping out any players, and
On cooldown.
this setup is so tough.
It is so tough indeed.
Last
Satella
player
just
standing.
in the corner as well, but Nyx gets a 3. Satella steps out on the contact. We are here. We are at match point.
Match point.
Match point indeed. Series point as well. And for Nightshade, it's been a strong series to boast. And we'll have the Seekers as well. Not really anything else. I mean, 2 off of the Showstopper, 3 off of the Viper's Pit, but Encrypted still have a chance into this. It would be 7 rounds in a row just to push it to overtime multitudes, and this is for the series life. This is for their playoff life. And once
Yeah,
again, just the same setup.
It's so hard for them right now. They really need to pull every round to perfection. Joya holding on to the Armageddon, in my opinion, just a wee bit too long. So they need to be able to think about how to utilize that as they dog into this corner. They're worried about the aggression. None to be had. So that is Nehemiah gonna have to dash out as well.
Yeah.
Abby?
Abby 2K, okay. Teleporting out, not going to get punished by the salvos. I thought we were going to see it once more, but yeah, it's a bit difficult. I mean, there hasn't been able to have like an operator be brought online from Nayamara, which is one of the main reasons, in my opinion, you'd be looking to run this jet. The economy just hasn't been there for it, but Nightshade pivoting over towards middle, and they've been working this map so well. Inserted the Viper,
Yeah.
and now 2 players here. Timing.
Nehemiah actually wants to disrespect the smoke, gets Satella, and Nyx is there for the
30
trade.
seconds left.
Okay. The Juniper completely blinded. Shrey gets the drop from across the map and onto this B site as well. Katrina drops a Vixen from the shadows, pop from Abby to put the site and insert themselves onto the A after Shrew gets the drop.
Yeah, this neural theft will give great information though of where these players are, and the Armageddon used, but will very easily be able to get to safety. And now just playing back on site, but Nyx, how do they play this?
How do they play this indeed? Nyx is going to be the absolute, you know, kingpin here to hold down the heavens as that counter flank, but time is a ticking. They need to be able to move on to the side. Abby drops Juniper, and Shrey and Abby just do absolute colossal work onto Encrypted GC. Nightshade show that they want to remain in the game in this Group C. Group stages here, 13-5, a repeat of the scores from before. They show that they can steal away anyone's map, especially Split, and an absolute show of dominance from this side. Congratulations to Nightshade.
Indeed, I mean, it's well due for sure. Nightshade, I mean, just been dominant the entire Tenax series. Once again, showing it in this week number 4, and I gotta say, the calling was phenomenal. The individual players were phenomenal. And once again, I mean, back-to-back maps, Abby 2K topping the leaderboard overall for both teams. And I mean, it's just disgusting work. First on the Cypher, next on the Omen. I mean, she doesn't even have to be on the Neon to be dropping these kinds of numbers, these type of stats. And I don't know, I'm just so excited to see how this team continues to grow and, I mean, push further as we get deeper into this season.
It's true, it's true. And it's not to say that, you know, Encrypted GC didn't have some crazy plays. I think Nehemiah changing off that Cypher from Lotus onto the Jet for Split, you know, they were feeling it. Give them the opportunity to frag out, got 2 4Ks, almost had an ace, both stolen away by their own team members, unfortunately, which is hilarious. But, you know, like, I think they had some excellent moments here. I think the execs could have been a little tighter to be able to utilize some of the initiations abilities to take map space and pace themselves from a layered perspective. And so I think that's the importance that they need to kind of fall back and regroup as a team to think through.
Yeah, you could definitely seem that they, or like tell that they had some ideas, just maybe not fully fleshed out. But I will say, I mean, Encrypted had a good showing overall, especially towards some of those individuals. They all had their moments from that Encrypted side. So positives to take away for sure. And go back to the prac room. in that VOD review. It'll definitely be a good session. And I mean, there still is 1 week to play. Sadly, with this loss, it will mean they are out of playoff contention, but still can get that win. Just for some confidence going in. I'm not sure what the plan for this roster is in the future. Hopefully they stick together. I think there's a lot of good signs for this team, especially with, Nayamara on that Jets as well as the Cypher, and then even Linsanity. I mean, maybe not doing the best this map, but was having some great individual moments, especially on Lotus. So great job from both teams overall. But I mean, yeah, look at this. 20-11 for Abby 2K, and even Shrey just doing phenomenal work on that Viper as well. The lurks were just across the board just insane for Nightshade, just putting in so much work.
Really, really much so. And with this win, hopefully before this game itself in Group C, they were kind of tied up with Ink Bloom as well as Prominence. So I don't really have the current stats right now, but hopefully this win gives Nightshade a little bit of a boost moving towards the end of this group stage and provide them a bit, at least, at the very least, an emotional, healthy kind of boost in terms of morale and all the confidence. So congratulations once again to them.
Yeah, of course. And like we were saying, this has been a 2-0 series win for Nightshade, taking both maps 13-5. Their map pick of Lotus into Encrypted's map pick of Split. Sadly, we didn't get to see Pearl. I would have been pretty hyped for that. I do love some Pearl action, but we'll have to see if maybe get that in a future week, because we do have some more games for you guys. Not this week, not next week, but in 2 weeks. So make sure you guys mark your calendars. I believe the 19th of February will be the next stream. If you guys want to catch in and hop in, we always appreciate it. And then make sure that you guys are on the lookout for those playoff notifications. Don't want to miss out on that. But any closing words, Multitudes?
No, it's been a banger. Like Zero said, be sure to follow the socials here in Tenax. We have a lot of great stuff happening in the group stages, and before you know it, we'll move into play-ins and playoffs and the knockout stages. So a lot of great Valorant cinema to be seen. Yeah,
for sure. And once again, thank you to Harmony Esports for helping put on this production, as well as Tenax Studios, Icefire in the back. So couldn't do this without everyone, as well as you guys, the viewers. Thank you, Multitudes, for joining me on this cast. This is Zero Fight, and we will catch you in the next one.